Happy Sabbath! Welcome to Sabbath School.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're happy and you mamas and the daddies. In his hands he's got the mamas and the daddies. In his hands he's got the whole world in his hands.
Samuel, the little priest. Once there was a little boy named Samuel who was brought to the temple to live with priest Eli. Priest Eli took Samuel's hand and he walked with him through the temple court, showing him around, showing him all the little things that had to happen each day at the temple for the services to begin. Samuel saw all kinds of things, very interesting things. He saw people praying. He heard the priests blowing trumpets. Then he watched as Priest Eli lit the golden lamp for the day to start the services. Samuel brought his favorite book to have Priest Eli read him stories. He loved to hear the old stories, and he couldn't wait to sit down and read the book. There were many stories, and some of them were longer than others, but much too soon the stories were all over, and it was time to go to bed. Samuel said good night. Samuel said good night to Priest Eli, and he spread his bed out on the floor and laid down. He said his prayers, and then he fell asleep. Priest Eli slept in a room nearby, and if he needed anything during the night, he would call Samuel. Samuel went to sleep. He was sound asleep one night when he heard the voice calling, "Samuel!" Samuel jumped up. It must be Priest Eli. He ran to Priest Eli right away.
What, son?
Did you call me?
No, I did not call you. Go back and lie down.
So Samuel went back to his room and laid down. But before he could go to sleep this time, the voice called again, "Samuel! Samuel!" Samuel jumped up again. "Samuel!" Again, he jumped up and ran quickly back to Priest Eli.
I did not call you, son. Go lie down and sleep.
So again, Samuel went running slowly back.
You did.
And another servant came in and said, "You didn't call. I didn't hear anything. I know you're telling the truth." So the other servant ran back to his quarters. Samuel was sure someone had called him, and almost before he laid his head back down, he heard the voice again, "Samuel!" So Samuel jumped up, and he ran back to Priest Eli. He wasn't asleep yet. And he hurried back over to Priest Eli.
I did not call you, Samuel. When you hear the voice again, you just say, "Lord, here I am." Go lie down.
So once more Samuel went and lay down. Priest Eli was sure now that God must be talking to him and trying to reach him. So Samuel lay wide awake, listening and listening. And then the voice called, "Samuel! Samuel!" And Samuel sat up in his bed. Samuel sat up in his bed. And in almost a whisper he said, "Speak, for thy servant heareth." God heard Samuel's whisper, and he talked to Samuel and told him many things, and he told him that one day he was going to be a priest. And this made Samuel happy. Now he wasn't just a little boy named Samuel, he was Samuel the little priest. And he would be a very important priest indeed for the Israelite nation.
3 words that rocked my world during elementary school. The Lion King. Released when I was 4 years old in 1994, The Lion King at the time became the highest grossing animated movie of all time. It's about Simba and his journey of becoming king after the death of his father Mufasa. So there's a scene in the movie that is, I think, the turning point of the entire story. Simba knows that he needs to reclaim his rightful position as king that has been taken by his uncle. Driven by fear, he tries to escape from the situation till he is met by Rafiki, the wise monkey mentor of Mufasa. Rafiki leads him to a pond where he is met by a vision of Mufasa who tells him, "Remember who you are." This becomes an important moment in Simba's life as he now regains his courage to go and confront his uncle and eventually reclaim his rightful position as king. Our lesson study this week is about another king, King Ahaz, found here and here. Like Simba, King Ahaz was fighting fear. Two enemy kings, Rezin and Pekah, had amassed their armies to fight against him, and he simply did not know what to do. Ahaz knew that this was a time where he needed to trust in God, but instead of leaning on him, he instead reached out to the king of Assyria, Tiglath-Pileser. In so doing, Ahaz introduced for the first time in Jerusalem the worship of Babylonian gods, and it became the official religion of the land. I think Ahaz forgot who he was. Ahaz forgot that he was a child of God, the son of the Most High King. Ahaz forgot that he was God's chosen leader during this time, and so in a moment of crisis, he chose to lean into his fear than lean on God. My friend, you are a leader. Because whether you know it or not, you have influence. Influence is the ability you have to change someone's actions, whether for good or for bad. When a leader is motivated by fear, their influence actually becomes hurtful, both to them and to others around them. But when a leader is motivated by love and a deep trust in God, their influence becomes holy and it builds other people up. The Bible says that perfect love casts out fear, meaning that when you lean into the love of God for you, and when you realize that you have the capacity to love other people, then there's no place for fear. But in those moments where you feel fear, remember what Peter says in 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 7. Cast all your cares on him, for he cares for you. My friend, today, remember who you are.
Thank you for joining us. See you all next week. Bye.
Been longing for a friend deep down in my